That beautiful lady that Sammy from Sinners is looking at is Jayme Lawson, and she played Pearline in Sinners. Fantastic actress, beautiful woman. The first time she pops up on screen, I was like, I was like Leonardo DiCaprio in that meme. I was like, who's that? Who is she? She is amazing. And then later on, no spoilers. They go to the juke joint. Super attractive, super sexy, talented singer, really talented. That's oh my god. She got next, man. She's it. And I didn't even recognize that, because I watched the Batman with Robert Pattinson a bunch of times, and she plays the mayor in the Batman. And I think she actually popped up on Penguin too for a minute because the mayor was in that. So I got to go back and watch. But yeah, I didn't even recognize her. It's like it's just totally different. But shout out to Jayme Lawson, man, just a beautiful woman. In fact, people were saying that maybe she should play Storm in the X-Men movie, and it's like, you know what? She can do it. I've been saying Jade Cargill, but I don't know what good of an actress Jade is. She's good in wrestling, but I'm not sure if she can handle action like that. But I'm sure she can. If the Rock and the Miz and John Cena can do it, I'm sure Jade Cargill can do it. But man, that Jayme Lawson, she'll be a perfect Storm. That's perfect Storm. Yeah, but she'll be a perfect Storm. So shout out to Jayme Lawson. But shout out to Ryan Coogler. And I don't think this is said enough. How he writes female characters. He's really good at it. A lot of these films that came out lately where there's like black female leads, they're great, they're wonderful. But sometimes the women are pushed ahead and the guys are almost like an afterthought, or the guys are horrible. Like the male character shouldn't be there, to be honest. Like they don't even matter to the story. And when you look at Ryan Coogler, that's why I think Ryan Coogler is so great, that even though he writes from a black male point of view and his leads are usually black males, the women that's in his films are not written weak, and they're very intricate to the men in their lives. It happened in Fruitvale Station with Oscar Grant's girlfriend. It happened in Creed with Tessa Thompson. It happened in Black Panther with Lupita, the female soldiers, and especially Angela Bassett. And again, Angela Bassett should have won that Oscar over Jamie Lee Curtis, even though I love Jamie Lee. But Angela deserved that Oscar. I'll stand by that. But Ryan Coogler has a great way of making sure that his female characters are not just window dressing. And people are saying like, man, this should be a prequel to Sinners. And the main prequel that people want to see is Smoke and Stack in Chicago. We Man, I don't know if Ryan and Michael B would do it. But I would love to see what Smoke and Stack were like when they get to Chicago, or why in Chicago, or what led them back to the Mississippi Delta. That would be great. If that's not the plan, I would love to almost see a Sinners series, which is almost like Deadwood, maybe a limited series, where we find out about Pearline and Mary and Annie and Grace, the Asian female lead, and the lives that they had before Stack and Smoke came in, and before the whole town was infiltrated by that stranger with the funny eyes. No spoilers, but yeah, that would be fantastic. That we find out what that area was like. Hell, even Delroy Lindo, I would love to see his character in that too. Like, it'd be fantastic if there was like a limited series from Sinners, just to find out what the town was like before Smoke and Stack came back. Hey man, if Ryan Coogler, hey man, if Ryan Coogler is watching this, man, I'm giving you some ideas. Man, he can make a whole lot of money just doing a series of books about Smoke and Stack, how they were before when they lived in the Mississippi Delta in Chicago, or even better yet, like how they were after the film with Smoke and Stack, and the lives that they led after the film. Like, I think people are so invested in those two characters and all the characters, but I think people are really invested in Smoke and Stack that you wish there'll be a sequel. But I don't know if Coogler wants to do it or not, even though it'd be his property. Like it wouldn't be like Creed, and wouldn't be like Black Panther. This is his stuff. This is him and Michael's stuff. So we people would love it. But shout out to Ryan Coogler, man, for writing strong female characters where, yeah, the male protagonist and antagonist are the leads in the film, but the female characters are just as important. This is totally different than a lot of films we've seen lately where the women are pushed out front and the men is just kind of like, like they just don't they just don't matter. And I'm sure people say, oh, well, they've been doing that for years. It's like, I don't know, man. Maybe I came from a different era. Like most of the movies that I saw, like especially in the 90s and even TV shows, the male and the female characters were equally as strong. So shout out to Ryan Coogler. So when it comes to Sinners, who is your favorite female character? It's hard. Like they were all good. Like I can't imagine that film without any of the female characters. I don't know, man. I love Pearline. Probably Annie. Annie's probably the Annie and Mary are probably the two best ones. Because you can't take Annie and Mary out because they're so intricate to Stack and Smoke. Probably those two equally. And then you get to Pearline and Grace. But again, shout out to Sinners, shout out to Ryan Coogler, shout out to Jayme Lawson. Shout out to Sammy. I see you, man. I see what you did on that table. You dog, you too dirty, dog.